Today, I've got some new lights for my 4th gen Tacoma. Woo, buddy. Look at those things. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Talon and I make new videos every single week. Today, we are installing some new lights on the 4th gen Tacoma. I was about to tackle this install, so I did a little bit of research on the good old YouTube, and there really isn't much information about these lights or an install out there. So I'm just gonna kind of show you guys what I'm gonna do. Be forewarned, I am not a mechanic. This is my first time putting lights in this truck because the trucks are obviously very new. So that being said, these are some new headlights coming from Alpharex, and these are the Nova series headlights. They actually match my taillights, which I've already done an install of. It was just like a quick little ASMR video. I'll pop it up on the screen right here. The taillight install was very simple. It takes like maybe 15 minutes. I've swapped out taillights on Tacomas, both 3rd gens and now 4th gens, numerous times. It's just a couple bolts. They simply plug right up, and that install I don't think really needed a full dedicated video. The headlights, however, are going to be a little bit more involved because I do have to remove the front end of the truck to actually get these in the proper way. Man, they pack these things really well. Give me a second. So these have a much nicer, at least in my opinion, DRL. Gets rid of this kind of light here. These are a little bit chromy. They are the TRD Pro lights, and they're adequate, but I know from experience that Alpharex lights are simply brighter. I have them on all my vehicles now, my Tundra, my van even. I put some Alpharex headlights in my Sprinter van. I got taillights on the Tundra, taillights on this truck, and now this is the next step. Nothing for the GR Corolla yet. Alpharex. Now my install is gonna be a little bit easier because I have the C4 low profile bumper here, so there's gonna be a lot less bolts and clips and stuff that I need to take off down there. But to get things started, I'm going to remove the whole front face of the truck here, a couple pop clips, a couple of bolts, and let's just dive right into it. All right, so I've got the truck broken down after a couple of minutes. There are so many little clips and stuff. I haven't taken the front bumper off here for a while, but got everything off and I got the headlights out. I decided to leave the bumper kind of like semi on here. That way I didn't have to disconnect all of the sensor wires and things like that. So now it's time to throw these bad boys in. Now there's a few cool features on here. They are plug and play, so these 3 connectors here connect to the 3 connectors that come from the truck. And then I have an extra wire here. I actually don't have the harness for this connection yet, but this is probably gonna go into an ignition fuse, and this is for an activation on a key press. So if I lock or unlock the truck, it will give you the activation feature with the DRLs and things like that. There's a few more things coming down the line. Alpharex is actually releasing an app where you're going to be able to choose an activation feature. I think they're gonna have like a few different options of how the lights kind of like start up, which is cool. I will probably add that, I'm assuming inline here in the future, but there's actually another feature. Here's the other side of the headlight too, same plugs and everything. If I remove the screws on this box right here, there are going to be a bunch of wires hidden underneath here, and you will notice that there is a plug. The way these lights come, they are a white DRL, but if you plug in this little single pin connector here, they will be amber DRLs. So boom, just a little connection like that, and now hopefully when I plug all these in and everything's working, the DRLs will be amber. So I'm gonna tuck everything away nicely. Just be careful, there's a lot of wires in there. In the future, with the app and being able to change the activation feature, I think you will also be able to change the color without messing with that wire that I just installed there. On the 3rd gen, you could actually get access to that while the lights were installed on the truck. This module is on the bottom of the light housing, so you're not gonna be able to get to it unless you pull the whole light out again. So now everything should be ready to go in. I'm going to do this part very carefully. I'm going to leave the plastic on the lights as well so I don't scratch them up, and see if we can get these things installed. All right, everything is back in order now. I refastened the bumper, headlights are in, all bolts. Pretty sure everything's good. All the clips are back in and everything. So now, I already did a little bit of a test just to make sure I had everything plugged in and whatnot. So let's turn these lights on and check them out. Starting as white, and then boom, amber DRLs. Those look really nice too, especially with all the orange accents on here. These are still white. I have backlights that are orange. Actually, let me just throw those on real quick so you guys can see. Oh, that matches so well. So I've got my diode lights in the C4 Low Pro bumper, backlit off ignition. So those are amber, rigid fog lights, which comes on the TRD Pro. Amber backlights, we have 3 projector beams now. I can already tell these things are massively bright. We'll have to do some night footage too. And then these up here, amber, really completing the whole look. Now, before we get into the night driving, I've also got another new product here. These are actually superior light output full LED fog light. This is a fog light kit coming from Alpharex as well. And since I already have the upgraded TRD Pro with the rigid lights up here, I actually don't really need these. So I'm gonna give these to one of you guys out there. All you have to do is follow me over on Instagram, give Alpharex a follow, and then tag someone in the comments. I will be making a post, some photos of these lights and everything. So go find that recent post and drop a comment there, and you can win these. They're for a 2024, obviously a 4th gen Tacoma, and should work on basically anything. Actually also 2022 through 24 Tundra and Sequoia as well. So I guess that'll be the same dimensions on all those lights. Let's get into some nighttime clips. All right, guys, it's finally time for a test. It's actually been a few days since I did the install because I wanted to wait for all of the pieces to come in. I don't know if I mentioned it in the beginning of this video, but these were like a pre-production kind of test for the 4th gen Tacoma, and I got the install done and everything, but I was missing the DRL harness, which gives you a little bit of extra function. The lights were working for the past week, but I wanted to wait until I got the proper harness in so I could wire everything up together. So on the right-hand side of the truck, I tapped into an ignition fuse, which will basically give more power to the DRLs when they are on. Also, there's a module there that gives you some animation choices, which is going to be even cooler once the app is out. You should be able to change a couple of things, but we're just gonna run through the different light modes now. So right now, the truck is currently locked, and if I walk up to it and hit the unlock button, you can see the blinkers, and boom, super bright white DRLs, but because I did the little switch that I told you guys about, now I'm rocking amber, which matches perfectly with everything else on my build. Now, when I hop into the truck, I'm going to start with the DRLs off, actually. So let's start the truck up. You'll notice I have some of my lights there wired into ignition as well. So when the truck is running, I actually get the backlights on my diode lights too, which is nice. So this is what it looks like in just the DRL mode. And now we will pop on to auto, which is of course going to turn the headlights on. And in my typical fashion, I forgot to do a before and after, so you guys are just going to have to kind of base this off of your own experience with the stock lights. We'll talk about that a little bit more while I'm driving. And then full on, obviously they're already on. High beams, I actually have my light bar on. Let me turn that off so I'm not blinding you guys. So there's high beams, low beams. Might as well throw the fog lights on too. So that's what you're looking like there, high and low. think these lights look really good, and now that it's actually getting darker, I can already tell what the performance is looking like. So let's go back to kind of the stealthy mode here, just the DRLs and the orange backlights on my accessory lights. I think this is a pretty cool look. Now from the inside of the truck, I'm gonna try to show you guys this, how I'm seeing it right now. So I got all my camera settings kind of dialed. It's not super dark out here yet, but it will be soon. DRL mode, and then we will pop on the headlights. Now it may be a little bit hard to tell in video, but you can kind of see the step down right here, which is a good thing. If I spin the dial to adjust the lights, as you can, yeah, I think you guys can see that on video. You will notice that they get significantly lower, and that is if you have a lot of gear in your bed or you're towing something, you can lower your headlights via the switch and you're not going to blind people. So I'm gonna rock that back up to normal, and as you can see, that function is not affected by running aftermarket lights. Now I'll go for a little drive here down the dirt road. This is just standard low beams, no fog lights on. Let's actually pop those on, get some eyes on what that looks like. Not super noticeable on the video, but I definitely notice a little bit more widespread and definitely bright light up close. This is a TRD Pro, so it does have really nice lighting from the factory. Even the headlights originally were not bad. I mean, it's the best headlight that they probably make for the 4th gen Tacoma, but I'm still noticing that these are quite a bit brighter. I think the beam cutoff looks a little cleaner. That way you're not blinding people in the other lane. And if you have a lower model, like, I don't know, just say like a TRD Sport, you're definitely gonna notice a big difference with a light setup like this. Let's pop into the high beams. Oh yeah, a little more focus there, definitely a lot more reach. You can see all the way out to the little hill in front of us that we're driving up. This camera, really any camera, is not going to do these lights justice. You kind of have to see them for yourself. And again, I apologize for no like before and after, but I think these lights are looking pretty dang nice. Turn signals, I didn't even show you those, but obviously basically looks the same as the DRLs. They are super bright because of that extra harness that I kind of waited to show you guys that I put in, because without that, you don't get the startup animation, and overall, I think this was a pretty good upgrade. So I think that is about all for now. If you guys have any questions on the install of this, let me know in the comments down below. And now I can ride into the night with some pretty bright headlights. Wonder if you guys can even see like the difference. I feel like the light is like reflecting back off of the dirt onto my face right now. So these things are pretty awesome, and they match the taillights too. So yeah, big thank you to Alpharex for letting me test out these lights. You guys can see more about these in some future videos when I'm actually out using the truck. It is finally getting a little bit warmer here in Colorado, so I'll be able to camp more consecutively. And I don't know if you guys could tell, but there's something new on the back of my truck right now, and you will hear more about that probably in the very next video. So stay tuned for that if you want to see what my next camping setup's going to be, and let me know what else you guys want to see about the 4th gen Tacoma down in the comments below. If you're new to this channel, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos every single week. As always, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.